on the champion, even if he wasn't actually able to solidify the victory. The Corki is where the Afreeca Freecs are going to land on in the end. Ezreal Corki does offer a lot of poke
ganks in order to make it happen. This is the spot they should be in. And speaking of this spot,
yeah, that's the big kick out as the Sonic Wave is going to land there as well. Soan's trying to dart around this fight as best he can, but it doesn't work as Keen
hits 2 items. That's when there's a bit of a blowback from Afreeca.
Well, that's a great play out of Key, but isn't going to be enough. Lucent Singularity gets himself the slow as the hook is going to land. Key does go down and do a stopwatch. Great kickback to keep the Lee Sin alive, but not for long enough. Final spark is overkill as the Impale comes down onto Yuka. Against Lee Sin, definitely don't want to be picked.
I think LS was on the mark because he was talking about irrelevant as Aatrox.
Well, speaking of relevance, this outer turret is going to fall down, but it's after the play for the Aatrox. Dread may not be enough to actually keep them alive as Predator there gives away the position of the Skarner. 4 members topside were not
even more important for the Corki in the 2019 summer meta.
And also now Afreeca Freecs are using that siege that they have so much power in. Even Keen and Dread able to get autos on this inner turret, and so that is not long for the world.
Lux in particular, Mugen's rushing in, but how half-hearted is this contest?
Well, he is going to come down here. It is taken by the Lee Sin, but it was a 50-50 in the end. Impale comes down, and they managed to pick off the Aatrox. Now with the man advantage, Hanwha Life are looking for it, but their
waves are actually causing a lot of headaches here for Hanwha Life. If you don't have your top lane minion wave in order, there's no turrets apart from an inner turret in top, so minion waves move really far.
Flashes to get out of the way. I think that Impale was not necessarily calculated very well mechanically, as now Hanwha have been routed. That's a huge package delivered. Final Spark doesn't do huge damage, but it does manage to soften the members of Hanwha who are scattering.
Man, they got nothing out of Skarner ult, and watch Baron explode.
Exactly, Baron is done. You had one sentence there.
Trio on the side of Afreeca, so they say thank you very much. We don't even need a tank. We got Lux shields for days.
It's about as wrong as it could have gone. As speaking of which, this is Afreeca Freecs in a very good position. 2 siege minions. This inhibitor turret dies with that last shot of said siege minion. The 4-1 is beautiful right now.
I had the replay on my screen. It was actually a Lee Sin kick away from the lantern.
Aha!
That's why it looked so weird on our monitors. All right, that was just a nice play from Dread.
All right. Well, that's the young man mechanics. Sometimes it even catches out. Papa Smithy, the analyst extraordinaire, as Soan might be caught out as well. The Weaver's Wall, not exactly the greatest position, as he's so far away from his team, takes the lantern to keep him alive, but that was the flanking play they were looking for. Soan almost going down to his Guardian Angel as the True Shot Barrage sails over their heads, and Afreeca seems like they cannot be surprised at all.
They're a siege comp with Baron.
This is amazing. Key, so very close to falling down, does go the correct direction as aiming, happy to dive underneath Nexus turrets. 2 inhibitors. 5v5.
Starting to deceive Hanwha Life. They give up the bot lane inhibitor. That's going to be all 3 inhibitors down. Hanwha Life just not able to pick a fight.
Yep, they're just watching this game be lost. That's what's happening right now. We've got 3 waves of super creeps now on the board. Nexus turrets under fire. Can Afreeca do it? As they're pushing forward, it looks like the answer is going to be yes, as these super creeps are so dangerous, and Afreeca are unrelenting in this pressure. Lava has to go back to the fountain. Final Spark, making the Lux look like a bit of an assassin in this game, even though it's Senin playing in the support role. True Shot Barrage sails by, doesn't land anything, but the hooks are also not landing. Mugen looking desperate as he once again gets kicked, but couldn't even get the Impale. That wasn't a popped Impale that time around as Featherstorm is used. Keen tries to flash, doesn't get there as Mugen flashes and doesn't find the Impale again. It's like his R button's bugged, Papa Smithy, as now the Nexus will be dealt with, and Afreeca Freecs take down Hanwha Life very easily in game number 1.
And it was just so non-interactive as it's 5 from the Sivir. Last pick on red side into the Aatrox. They'll be angling for the Fiora
point from Sen, and remember, no flashes on the bottom side. It's a decent spell shield, but now that one's on cooldown as, that's a very dead Tahm Kench. Aiming's gonna follow as well. Look at the tanking of the turret working out beautifully. Sunk around the river. That is only a hijack on a glacial prison. That is not going to get them this Infernal Drake. So to really get some extra pressure, but now it looks like Dread is in here at the right time. The Umbral Dash is good. Keen throws down the ultimate. Dread makes sure that he gets in range for that one, but that guarantees the kill. And that is going to mean turret falls down, double plates going over to Keen, and this Aatrox is huge.
11-minute turret for the Aatrox, and then he's going to start teleporting into fights, and best of luck with that.
Trying to steal away a red buff from his own team. Life Binding lands here as there's the last breath. They finally do get that knock up. Wind Wall's good. The last breath on the side of the Yasuo, though, is decent, but Yukal has to get out of there. Devour, that is a huge slow. Triple knock up and the kill at the end. Not quite enough to do it, but it looked real spicy. Hanwha walk away with the advantage.
And there's the duality of the Afreeca Freecs and their young lineup. They take a fight they should in Atlas. They take a fight where the synergies can come together. Trundle Pillar is an easy opening for the last breath. And given the future scaling, anything that injects gold now for Hanwha Life is priceless when it comes to those late game team fights that may never have came if they kept just
having to be invested alongside the ult to get out.
And 3 members being invested means goodbye to the mid lane outer turret. So
bottom lane outer turret might also go down as well as Dread.
The game is happening around those in the lanes because they have a losing Fiora matchup. They're really kind of miscast. Fiora feels like ways don't have to respect the enemy. Can also have Aatrox just play alone.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a note button, but he knows to leave the turret now as they
can just say no but leave, yeah.
They run the map, and it feels like Hanwha Life are just trying to handshake a team fight where if Afreeca keep doing what they're doing.
About 3,000, aiming with quick fingers there. On the spell shield, it's going to stop that Void Seeker, but this is the turret that I was talking about. Very
on a pillar, you completely back away. Here we go.
Yeah, it's Arctic Assault buffered really nicely, but it's not enough. Okay, Senin able to get the Devour in. No one dead just yet. Mugen, the first to go down, and the ultimate there from Yukal is going to secure it. It's 2 kills already here for the Afreeca Freecs. No knockup is going to come in as So1. Decent flash there, trying to lunge around this fight, but the resets were there for the Aatrox. See you later, Hanwha Life, and welcome to Baron, Afreeca Freecs.
Perfect time for a fight. Afreeca finally say, let's go, and oh boy, it's with Keen in position. They
that was a
onto the
clean
Baron,
ace.
And it's another Baron super early for Afreeca Freecs.
This is what we saw out of Kingzone last week. This is the kind of decisive play that we were watching out of them and we were praising them for so much. As the Afreeca Freecs have done it. They've done their homework.
Beautiful from Hanwha Life. Unfortunately, from there, top lane losing as the cascading dominoes are so clear in this game. A top difference game might end really early.
And while that bottom lane dive was happening, remember that Yukal was getting just the most gigantic lead in the mid lane when it comes to creeps and turret plates that actually the gold didn't change after that happened. Speaking of breaking things, Papa, I mean, we were talking about this series. I was talking about Hanwha before the Sandbox series, thinking they had some opportunities. Speaking of which, Ultimate does fly in. Yukal going aggressive on the bottom side, just dashing through some minion waves. I thought he was fighting someone. He wasn't actually, as now Hanwha are looking for him. Nice dodge on a lot of the abilities. Finds the ultimate once again onto Lavu. Goes into his Zhonya's. Grand Challenge is popped very early, but the Devour denies any sort of re-engage as Keen. Looking for more. Riposte does nothing, and Hanwha, they have nothing.
Even though it was 1v3 for a bit, it's just a prank from Hanwha Life. They know they can't hard engage, and with the Baron still up, they're trying to break the base again.
Yep. Inhibitor turret should be going down here. The inhibitor was dealt with, of course, by Yukal in the meantime. They feel like
very fast games, even though the lull states were actually long in both of them. Game number 1 and game number 2, the kills.
League of Legends now using their sweet new toys they picked up from the shot. Light Binding is going to land there, but Keen able to Umbral Dash to get out of the way. Still, Afreeca just looks like they're playing. As Afreeca are going to play this one by the book, spending some time up towards this inhibitor turret. Okay, Yukal, Grand Challenge is down. Good positioning there from So1 as Senin gets on over, actually able to get there. The flash wasn't late enough. Oh, the 2-man hold up with the last breath, but he's just going to die. You always get excited by it as Songyun has the evolution on the Q, finishes off the Piggy as a when they were down 8k. This is currently Hanwha Life down 8k, but this is the competition. That being said, Songyun has been one of the players that's been actually doing stuff. Speaking of doing stuff, On the Hunt has been popped here as Yukal looking to try and get some damage down onto Songyun. That Q still needs to be respected, and he does not have a GA completed. Dread able to get out of the way here as it's just inhibitors getting re-killed. Soon the super creeps will be too much to overwhelm Hanwha Life.
Their siege is desperately poor, but super minions can do it for them. Super minions push up. If you get the right connection, you dive. If you don't need to, so...
Yeah, Infernal Chain, speaking of connection, is going to land really nicely there. Songyun has to go into his stopwatch very early. Lava's going to get pulled up into the sky. He's got a Zhonya's, though. Will be all right here as Keen diving into the backline, taking matters into his own hands, gets himself the reset on the ultimate, and now the Nexus turrets will finally be taken down, but not before the ace is completed. So on the fountain is just going to have to wait as far back as he can and watch his Nexus get destroyed. Afreeca with the clean 2-0.
And also the...
Alright, fair enough. Well, we are going to go down to Dread and Keen, who are standing on side with Mina. So here's Jason for some translation.
This is Jason with this interview translation, and we're going to be hearing from Dread, Keen, picking up 2-0 victory up against KazaLoLL Esports. So how did you prepare for today's series? Just as usual? Well, we just did our best to pull off the plays that we do in the scrims. Okay, this is your first MVP interview of the summer split. How do you feel right now? Well, I think I'm feeling better and better going through the split, so I think I have to work even harder. Well, actually, a lot of people expected more of the fights because it's a game between two aggressive teams, but nothing really happened much. Well, that's what I expected as well, but this is actually a competitive game, so we were trying to go a little more defensively and go safe. And Dread, so Mujin and Key played Garner Thresh composition. Did you expect that? No, not at all. Then what kind of feedback went back and forth before going into the games after the pick and back? We're expecting them to go play around the bot lane, so I was also preparing to counterplay it. So we have this highlight over here. We could see you popping off with your crazy mechanics. That kick. Do you remember that? Did you expect that play from Mujin? Well, I just saw Skarno running toward us, so I just kicked him away.
네, 자, 이 장면 이후에 경기가 빠르게 흘러가서 승리를 1세트 승리를 가져다 줬습니다. 자, 그리고 2세트에서는
Moving on to game number 2.
들고 나왔었는데
KazaLoLL walked in Trundle jungle. Did you expect that? Well, I did. And you played Halo Blade Sejuani. Was that a counter rune? Well, if I go with Aftershock, it's Trundle Ultimate will be a big counter for me, so I just went with Halo Blades. I just wanted to stack up 4 stacks as soon as possible. Keen, you have been playing Aatrox today. However, Aatrox has a very low win rate. Why is that? Well, Aatrox go with a lot of blind picks, so it has a lot of hard times during the laning phase. So that's why he has a very poor result recently. But however, you were just giving so much pressure to Fiora today. How was that possible? Well, I had vision around Mujin a lot, so I was able to put a lot of pressure during the laning phase. Would you like to give some credit to Dread? Well, his performance is on point. Keen, you said that you want no more in 1v9. So are you trusting your teammates to like the game, the way the game goes nowadays? Whenever we win the game, I think I got carried. So it's a little bit sad, but it's really comfortable. But we do have a highlight of your performance of today's game as well. This is the team fight that you guys aced out the Hanwha players. So what was going on? We knew that they were grouped up over there, so we were ready for this team fight and I keep it in, but I think we were just able to just grab some good results. You were so low on health, but you were so boldly going inside. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid when my HP went so low, but I just somehow did it. Once again, congratulations on the win. And another around Afreeca is Yukal's mic check, you know? And also, we could see a lot of follow from the teammates. However, you always stay silent. I think Yukal is paying too much attention to the off-the-record stuff. But if I add on to that, it's gonna be too much, so I'm just staying quiet and remaining quiet.
자, 다음 경기가 이제 킹존과의 경기입니다. 정말 기대가
game will be up
되는데
against
요즘
Kingzone.
아주 상승세를 제대로 타고
This
있는
is the most hyped matchup this week. You guys, both teams are on the best performance.
이기지 않을까 생각이.
As long as we perform as we do normally, I think we can win.
자, 기인 선수는 어떤 전략
What about you, Keen?
세우고
What
계신가요?
kind of strategy are you gonna bring in?
킹존이 요즘 잘하고 있는데 그냥
Kingzone, they are doing
하던
really
대로
great
뭐
recently.
열심히
But
잘하면
if we do
아무래도
as we
잘 풀리지
practice
않을까 그렇게
and if we
생각하고
do
있어요.
our best, I think it's gonna be good.
자신감이 묻어나는 그런 인터뷰였습니다.
I think we
오늘
can pick up
승리
good
다시
results.
한번 축하드리고요. 인터뷰도 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much for this interview, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank
네,
you.
아프리카의 트레드 선수 기인 선수 함께했습니다. 중계선 연결할게요.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, and welcome back to the cast desk, ladies and gentlemen, where we are sorry.